Hi, everyone. I'm Anne-Marie Green. We are going to begin with this shooting in Jacksonville. We're learning new details about the deadly shooting at a video game competition in Jacksonville, Florida. Our CBS affiliate, WJAX, has now identified two of the people killed in yesterday's rampage. They are 22-year-old Eli Clayton and 27-year-old Taylor Robinson. They were shot and killed while playing in the Madden NFL 19 event. 9 others were wounded by gunshots and 2 more were hurt fleeing the chaos. The suspected shooter has been identified as 24-year-old David Katz. Police say Katz opened fire after he lost the competition. He died of a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Manuel Bojorquez is at the scene of the shooting where he spoke with the survivor.
A lot of good games going on.
It's a lot. It's going to be hard to get them on stream. It's not a lot.
It's not a tough out today. Excuse me, not an easy out. Oh.
A live stream from the event shows what appears to be a red dot flash across one of the players' chests seconds before the first shots ring out.
It was a lot. Like, it was pop, 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 pop. Like, it didn't stop.
The first 911 calls came in at 1:34 p.m. local time. Police rushed to the Jacksonville Landing Mall.
There were 3 deceased individuals at the scene, one of those being the suspect who took his own life.
The suspected shooter was identified as David Katz.
David Katz keeps to himself. He's a man of business.
A one-time Madden tournament champion, known by his gamer tag, Bread. Katz lost in yesterday's tournament. Dennis Alston played against him.
I beat him. I went to shake his hand and tell him good game, and he just looked at me. He didn't say anything.
I could never see his face because all I could see was the flash from the muzzle of the gun.
And then you knew it was gunshots.
And I knew right away, yeah. And then
Tony Montanino also competed in yesterday's tournament. The father of 2 was shot in his lower back and leg.
If you would have told me that I was going to get shot playing a video game, I would have called you a liar.
He says when the shooting started, he immediately dropped to the floor.
My phone is on the ledge, probably about 10 feet in front of me, and all I can think about is getting my phone so I can text, my family. Just let them know, that I care about them. And that's the most helpless feeling in the world.
CBS News national correspondent Manuel Bojorquez is in Jacksonville, Florida. Manny, I know you spoke to a survivor. How did he describe what he saw?
Well, his name is Tony Montanino. He's from Round Rock, Texas, a married father with 2 children who is now injured, had 2 bullet wounds, according to doctors who treated him. He told us his back was actually facing the door of where this tournament was happening just behind us here. So he did not see the gunman come in, but next thing you know, he's hearing gunshots. You have to remember that at this point, everybody's staring at monitors. They're all participating in this online tournament. And then they hear gunshots. They don't really know what's going on at that point. He said he thought maybe it was firecrackers or balloons popping, but then it became real when he saw the muzzle of the gun flashing. He said he could not see the shooter's face, but at that point, panic set in. He said one of the players turned over a table to try to shield themselves, and he was able to hide behind that. And then it seemed like the shots just went on for an endless amount of time, at least in his mind. When they stopped, he was able to run outside. He tried to hide in a bathroom, but he said there were so many people hiding in there that he really had to keep going. And that's when he said he realized he had been shot. He started to feel dizzy and then just passed out on the outside of that restaurant. Luckily, paramedics were able to pick him up rather quickly and take him to the hospital. He was able to speak with us last night and is recovering, but that gives you a sense of what people have gone through here.
Oh yeah, that really gives you a sense of the panic and confusion that was going on. I know there have been calls for some sort of security at these tournaments. What was security like at this Madden tournament?
Well, that's something that's still really under review. The sheriff's office is still looking into exactly what kind of security they had at this event, whether they were supposed to have security that was this level versus that level. That's all still under investigation. But Tony, who we spoke with yesterday, did say that he would like to feel a sense of safety at the next of these events with more security. Again, nothing that anyone ever expected at one of these tournaments is what they're dealing with now. But he also said he's not sure at this point whether he can continue on to the next 2 tournaments that he's signed up to do. He's just so shaken up by what happened here. But you can imagine that all the players involved, EA Sports, sports and all of the venues that are hosting these events going forward will be looking at this event to try to figure out what type of security to have going forward.
Yeah, I'm sure. In regards to the investigation and just why this happened to begin with, I know the suspect's home in Baltimore was searched last night. Are they leaning into anything new, or are they learning rather anything new about the alleged gunman?
Well, so far, the sheriff's office here and those agents who raided his home in Maryland have been very tight-lipped about what, if anything, they have found inside the home. Again, we know that David Katz was someone who had done well in some of these tournaments before. He was described in one clip of a tournament as someone who was not there to make friends, who was very down to business, very eager to win. And we do know that, according to the player we interviewed yesterday, that he had lost that day. So many people feel that that's the reason that he carried out this shooting, that the loss somehow set him off. Again, officials not declaring an official motive here yet, just saying that all of this remains under investigation still.
Okay, Manny, before I let you go, you talked about Tony and, his sort of escape from this room, that he had been injured. What about the others that are injured? How are they recovering?
Well, the 9 other people who suffered some type of gunshot wound are all in stable condition this morning, and there are a lot of people breathing a sigh of relief about that, because it appears at this point that everybody else who was injured will survive. Again, they are all mourning. This was a pretty tight community of players and their families who either traveled with them or watched them as they played at these events. So when everybody got word that there was a shooting, they descended upon here trying to get as much information as they could about their loved ones. You have to remember that many of their phones were still inside, so they couldn't contact relatives right away to let them know that they were doing okay. So 9 people recovering still, but in stable condition this morning.
Well, I suppose that is some good news. It gives you an indication of just how deadly this could have been, and our sympathies definitely for the 2 people who were killed in this. Manuel Bojorquez, thank you so much.
Thank you.